Here is one of the strangest numbers in the story of cocaine. A farmer in the Andes keeps about $1.50 out of every $100 of the drug sold on an American street. So who takes the other 98? Not the man who grew the plant, the man willing to break the law to move it. That distance between what the crop is worth and what the powder sells for is the whole story. It was not built by chemistry. It was built by a law. Pablo Escobar did not beat the market. Prohibition handed him one. So let us audit the ledger. Start with the plant, because the plant is cheap. Coca is an ordinary crop grown by poor farmers for a few dollars a load. Turned into powder and carried north, that same crop sells in an American city for thousands of times more. Almost none of that price is the drug itself. It is the risk. Every step from the field to the street carries the danger of arrest, seizure, and death, and someone has to be paid to take it. That payment is the margin. Now here is the part the drug war hides. A ban does not remove a product people want. It removes the honest competition. No lawful company can sell cocaine, so the entire market and the entire markup is handed to whoever will break the law. The statute sets the price, not the chemistry. And watch what the cartels did with that gift. As they scaled up supply, the street price of cocaine did not climb. Across the following decades it fell by as much as 80%, while purity rose. The law had built the most profitable business on earth and then guaranteed its customers. One organization captured most of that margin and held it for years. At its peak, the Medellin cartel is estimated to have supplied around 80% of the cocaine reaching the United States. Its revenue, by the most cited estimate, was about $420 million a week, roughly $22 billion a year. Larger numbers get repeated, but that is the solid one. And it was enough to place Escobar on the Forbes list of billionaires for 7 years running. He did not invent the drug or the demand for it. He industrialized the supply of an illegal product and defended his hold on it. But a business built on breaking the law cannot call the police or sign a contract or sue a rival. So its running costs become bribery and violence. In Medellin, this had a name: plata o plomo, silver or lead. A firm that cannot be taxed or policed will try to replace the state that hunts it. A leading presidential candidate, Lars Carlos Galán, was shot dead in 1989. That same year, a passenger plane was bombed from the sky, and 107 people were killed. This was not the cunning of a genius. It was the logic of a monopoly with no law above it. Now follow the money, because this is where the respectable names appear. Billions of dollars in small, used bills are worthless until they enter the banking system and come back out clean. That is laundering, and it is the cartel's hardest problem. The cash moves through bulk smuggling, through currency exchange houses, through front businesses and real estate, and at last through the wires of ordinary banks. In Escobar's day, one of those banks was BCCI, which laundered Medellin money and collapsed in 1991 with around $20 billion missing. But here is the honest, uncomfortable part. The pattern did not die with him. 2 decades later, a major American bank, Wachovia, admitted it had failed to monitor more than $400 billion moving from Mexican exchange houses. Its penalty was about $160 million, less than 2% of its profit that year. No banker went to prison. In 2012, HSBC paid $1.9 billion over the same kind of failure. Again, no individual was charged. Those later cases belonged to the Mexican cartels, not to Escobar. And that is precisely the point. The men change, the account stays open. On the 2nd of December 1993, Pablo Escobar was killed on a rooftop in Medellin. The cartel he built fell apart. And here is what did not happen. Cocaine did not vanish. The price did not spike. It kept falling. New suppliers filled the gap. The banks kept paying their settlements, and the trade went on without him. Because the thing that set the price was never the man, it was the ban. So lay the whole ledger on the table, both columns, honestly. On one side, the drug is not innocent. Cocaine and crack did real, measured harm. Overdose deaths climbed. A wave of violence crested through American cities. And in Colombia, the long war cost hundreds of thousands of lives. On the other side, the ban is not innocent either. It guaranteed the very margin that paid for the killing. It drove prices down and purity up, the opposite of what it promised. It filled prisons along a racial line, and it cost the public more than $1 trillion. Both columns are real. Neither one cancels the other. That is what an honest audit looks like. Settle the account then. Pablo Escobar was not a mastermind who beat the system. He was the monopoly the system built and then replaced. For 50 years, the drug war hunted the men and never touched the thing that made them, the ban that quietly promised that the most dangerous people alive would also be the richest. We did not audit the kingpin. We audited the incentive that keeps minting new ones, the linker, not the legend. If you want the system read back to you plainly, without the myth, subscribe and stay for the next audit. This is Tareekh Hisaab.